Dear students, now see we have done number of lessons in the physics, okay, by our video lectures. But now see our first term will be soon on the cards just after the Diwali vacation, and in that I think we'll have a lesson number 8 and 9 will be in the syllabus, okay, in our 9th standard in physics part. So I would like to revise some of the concept of lesson number 8 and 9 that will be useful to you at the time of the exam. Okay, now we start with the revision of the formulas also. Okay, now we start with the basic definition of motion. See, what is motion? See, whenever an object changes its position with respect to another object with time, it is said to be in motion. See, basically in our 9th standard, okay, we have to study one dimension motion. Okay, generally we consider x-axis is our or a y-axis, any one direction, that is a one dimension motion, or that is also called rectilinear motion. Motion in a straight line is called rectilinear motion. Now see our first formula. First is path length or a distance. Okay, path length is a path covered during the motion. Okay, in given time interval. Whereas displacement is the change in position. Now displacement is the shortest distance. There is a change in position, final position minus initial position. Now we know displacement is the shortest distance. Now generally the ratio of the displacement to path length is less than or equal to 1. Maximum case, motion is in the one dimension only, and particle moves only on a straight path in one direction. See, the ratio become 1. Otherwise, okay, generally the displacement is smaller than the path length, or maximum displacement can be equal to path length. But remember, displacement cannot be larger than path length. Displacement cannot be larger than the path length. Okay, so this is about the path length and the displacement. Next we have to know about the speed. Speed is path length upon time. Okay, whereas velocity is displacement upon time interval. Okay. Now see, the speed is path length upon time, velocity is displacement upon time. Now remember, path length or distance is always positive, so the speed is always positive. Whereas velocity is a vector quantity, can be positive, 0 or negative. Okay? Speed is always positive, velocity can be positive, 0 or negative. Okay, now then we have to talk about average speed. Okay, is total path length or total distance upon total time. Okay, now in that also we discuss two part in a, let us say the motion in two part, distance is same and the speed is different. Okay, in a given, during given motion, let us say AB and BC are equal parts, then the half of the distance is covered in each part, but the speed is different. Okay, then average speed Okay, if it is asked in MCQ, we can solve by using this formula in a given time interval. Okay. Now, in a given motion, let us say there are two parts. Let us say here AB and BC are equal. Each are of during each part the object or the particle cover equal distance, half of the distance. Let me tell you. Then average speed will be 2v1 v2 upon. Now, same way. See, this can be extended for three parts also. AB, BC and CD, each three part are equal d by 3 d by 3. Speed during that time is v1, v2, v3. Then average speed v1, v2, v3, v1, v2 plus. Okay, this can be extended to n number of parts, but right now if you remember this, that will be okay for us. Okay, especially this one. Okay, during the both part distance is same, then the average speed is 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus. Now, and if the time interval is same, let us say for time t the object moves with the speed v1, for the same time it moves with the speed v2. Here time is same, then average speed is v1 plus v2 by 2. Okay, average speed is v1 plus v2 by 2. Okay, now let me take an example of this. Now see, it is given that a car travels 30 km with the speed of 40 km per hour, and the next 30 km with the speed of 20 km per hour. See, what we can see in the both part, distance is same, speed is different. So average speed we can use the formula. Okay, we can use this formula 2v1 v2 upon v1 plus v2. Okay, now you can substitute the values. Okay, so this is how we can solve this formula. Okay. See, the next question we can say like this. Okay, otherwise we have to take total distance upon total time. Let us say a train travels 60 km per hour for 0.52 hours. Okay, then with the speed of here for 0.24 hour, and with the speed of 0.71 hour. See, what you have to calculate? Okay, what we can see here, either distance is not same, time interval is also not same. So what we have to do? See, we have to calculate the distance covered. See, the time we can add easily. Okay, that is given to us. Now in that case, we use the basic formula. V is d by t. So d is equal to v into t. Okay, so what will be our d1? First part 60. d2 will be 30 into 70. Okay, so that you can solve. Okay. Okay, see, the total distance will be d1 plus d2 plus d3 . Okay, Now this is how we can calculate the total distance. See, we can add total time. Okay, 4 plus 2, 6 and 1, 7. Okay. Now 5 plus 2, 7 plus 7, 14. But better if we convert in the minutes also. Okay. Now see here, 4 plus 2, 1, 6, 7. 6, 8 plus 7. Okay, 1.57 or 0.52 plus 0.42 plus 71. Okay, 7, 6 plus 2, 8 plus 7. 1.57 hour. Okay, now we can use the formula. Okay, average speed is total distance. Okay, now see, examination part, they will give the values which you can easily solve. Here we can make okay plus let me have a check of this. Yes. Okay, total time we have calculated is 0.52 plus 0.24 plus 0.71. Okay, that okay time. Now we use the formula. Average speed is okay, so that turns out to be 59 point. Okay, now see, these are the basic formula we discussed. Now we talked about motion with the constant acceleration. Constant or uniform now. See, we studied the equation of motion with the constant or uniform acceleration. See which were? First was v is equal to v naught plus at. Second is v is v0 t plus half at squared. See, sometimes you can use this also. Okay? Distance travel or displacement is v plus average velocity into time. Why? Here the motion is with the constant acceleration. And the fourth one you can use d is v square minus v0 square upon. Okay, these are the equations which are most useful. Okay, and see the most basic kinematics equation. See, whatever time you will study physics, it will be useful to us. Okay, now let us say an example based on this. Okay, now let us say a car is moving with the speed of 56 km per hour. After some time, 1 second later, the velocity becomes 58 km per hour. See, we have to calculate acceleration. Okay. Now see, whenever it is given in kilometer per hour, we can convert in meter per second. See, we have to remember the formula. Kilometer per hour into 10 upon 36 is meter per second. So here we keep like this, 56 into 10 upon 36. Similarly here, this will be v0. Okay, so acceleration will be v minus v0 upon t. See, the time interval is this. Okay, so it will be 580 minus 560 upon 36 is LCM. Okay, so this is how we can calculate acceleration. Okay, now this is how we can use the kinematic equation of motion in one dimension. Now we take one more sum. Now see, the velocity of a train changes from 36 km per hour to 72 km per hour in 5 seconds. Calculate the acceleration and distance traveled during this. See, what we have to calculate? Acceleration. Now again we convert in meter per second. Okay, final velocity will be, okay, now acceleration is, okay, this we have used number of times. See, the time interval given is 5. Okay, so that is the acceleration. Now see, the distance covered is v square minus v0 square upon 2a. Okay, 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 this is how we can solve. Now we also discuss the graphs also. We also discuss the graph also. Now first was x versus t graph. Okay, in that we have seen the first graph. The x versus t graph is parallel to time axis. Okay, x versus t graph parallel to time axis. Object is at rest. Now see here, x versus t graph is a parallel to time axis. The particle or object will. Why? Because the time changes, but the position of the object do not change. So the object is at rest, or we can say stationary. Okay. Now second graph. Okay, now see here what we see, the x versus t graph is a straight line. X versus t graph is a straight line, and the object covers equal distance in equal time interval. Now let us say the time interval is from 0 to 1 second. See, the distance covered is 5 meters. In the time interval of 2 seconds and 1 second, here the difference will be 1 second. Here also the distance covered will be 10 minus 5 will be 5. Similarly between 3 seconds and 2 seconds, and so on. So here what we see, x versus t graph is a straight line. Also the object covers equal distance in equal time interval. We can say the object moves with a constant speed. Okay, x versus t graph is straight line, and object cover equal distance in time interval. Okay, x versus t graph is a straight line and the object covers. Okay, then it is, we say, uniform motion. Okay, object moves with a constant speed. Now see, if x versus t graph is a distance versus time graph, then the slope will give us the value of the speed. Okay, and x versus t graph is a displacement versus time graph. Okay, then the slope will give us the velocity. Okay, so this is about the see the x versus t graph. Okay, this represents uniform motion. Okay, this represents. Now see here the object covers equal distance in equal time interval. Okay, and graph is a straight line. Now if the object do not covers equal distance in equal time interval, then it represents non-uniform motion. Okay, now let us say the graph is like this. Now here, see we try to calculate the speed in the 0 to 5 seconds. Let us say AB part. See what is the speed here? It will be 4 minus 0 upon 5 minus 0. 4 by 5 is 0.8. Now in BC part, see the speed will be 12 minus 4 upon 7 minus 5. Okay, then CD part, if I obtain, value of the speed will be 17 minus 12 upon 12 minus 7. Okay, same way, in the same way we can calculate for the DE part also. So if the object do not cover equal distance in equal time interval, we say it performs non-uniform motion. If object do not cover equal distance in equal time interval, perform a non-uniform motion. Now then we talked about free falling object. Now this is also a motion with a constant acceleration, but here the acceleration is equal to g, that is gravitational acceleration. G value is 9.8 meter per second. Now see our equation were like this. Now see for a free falling object, V0 is 0, A is equal to C. So this first equation will become here V0 is 0, A is Z. It will be like this. Now second equation, B is equal to V0 T plus half AT square. Again V0 is 0, A is G. So the second equation becomes. Now see the third equation, D is V square minus V0 square upon 2A. Now here V0 is 0, A is Z. So the third equation has become. Okay. Now see these are the equation of motion of a free falling object. Okay, D is equal to half gt square v is equal to gt and d is equal to v square by 2g. Now, if you have any question regarding the lesson number 8 and 9, yes, that can be our first term exam. Okay, you can send me your question. Okay. So I will try to solve your queries. Now, in the 8th lesson, we talked about uniform circular motion. Okay, uniform see, when a particle moves on a circular path with the constant speed, v is a constant speed, r is the radius. So if the object moves on a circular path with constant speed, if object moves on circular path okay, it is called now see here the object moves with the constant speed, okay, but every time the direction of the speed is changing. Okay, now see velocity is speed plus direction. See here magnitude of the speed is changing, remains constant but direction is continuously changing. That's why it is called uniformly accelerated, and there is some value, there is equation of the acceleration also, but right now we will not discuss. But here we have to remember only this part. If the object moves on a circular path with a constant speed, it is called uniform circular motion. See what is the value of the speed? Speed is distance upon time. Okay, let us say t is the time to complete one revolution. Okay, now distance will be equal to the circumference of the circle, that will be 2 pi r. Okay, and t is the time to complete one revolution. Then speed will get as a 2 pi r upon t. So these are about the most of the equation of a lesson number 8, that is motion in a straight line. Okay, now next time we will try to take the equation of laws of motion or force and motion also. Okay, thank you.